Hello and welcome to a brand new month, the month of August. And as part of our efforts to grow in this year, I want to share with you a timely message I've titled Personal Branding. So let's begin by defining what personal branding is. Personal branding is simply creating an identity for yourself as an individual or your business. And personal branding is very important to growth because the more people know you or the better people know you, the more they want to relate with you. The better people know your business, the more they want to transact business with you. Simply put, your personal branding is the image of you in the minds of people, the image created in the minds of people about you or your business. And as a matter of fact, people would like to consider that image even before they consider transacting a business with you or relating with you. So if you want people to relate with you better, then you have to be more focused on creating a very solid personal branding of yourself or your business so that it can improve how people relate with you and how they do business with you. Another keynote that you want to take note of is that personal branding involves developing a well-defined and consistent look, message, and presence online and offline. It is very important that the image of ourselves that we create in the minds of people is consistent. The message that we give to people must be consistent. It must not only be focused on what we are telling them today, but we must focus on telling them something that they need to hear and they need to know, not only today but for a very long time to come, because what you do all the time, people take note of it. So your message is very important. It has to be very consistent. Your look or your appearance is also very important because people relate with you based on how you appear or your presence. And it must not only be your presence in person only. In this day and age of social media, people look out for how you appear even on social media. That is why you cannot afford to be careless when you're online, because whatever you do online, people are taking note of it, and when the time comes, they will take decisions based on that. And finally, your personal branding also impacts your future. Whatever you are doing today, both in person and online, or both offline and online, people are taking critical note of it. You can decide to say that, well, it's your own data and you can decide to do whatever you want to do with it. But when the time comes for people to do business with you, whether you have a business today or you're going to create a business tomorrow, people are going to take all those things into consideration. So your personal branding, whether online or offline, is very critical and you don't have to take it for granted. So how then do you build a very solid and good personal branding for yourself so that people want to relate with you better and do business with you better? Number one is to define your brand. What does it mean? It means, what do you want to be known for? You have to be very sure in your mind. You have to be very certain in your mind as to what you want people to know you for. When your name is mentioned, what is the kind of image you want people to have of you? What kind of information or message do you want people to have about you in their mind? It is very, very critical, because when I begin to mention some names now, there are certain images, there are certain information, there are certain identity that will come into your mind immediately about those people. That is the brand that they've created for themselves. What branding are you also creating for yourself? There are some people, the moment you hear their name, people go like, oh, this person. When people start going that way, when people start thinking that way about you, it means your personal branding is suffering and you need to focus on it and build a very solid personal branding. So the first thing you must do in building a very good personal branding is to define your brand. What do you want to be known for? Number two is to be consistent. Don't just do it today and then tomorrow you move on to another thing. Let it be consistent. Do it over and over again, because over time, that is what people will come to know you for. And finally, be genuine. There is no need to fake your personal branding, because whatever you take as your brand for yourself today, that is what people will come to know you for a very long time to come. And you must be also ready to live with that kind of lifestyle for the rest of your life. So personal branding is very critical and we cannot afford to joke with it, whether we are online or offline, because it determines how people relate with us and it determines how well people transact business with us. So in our year of growth, I want to encourage you to build a very solid and consistent personal branding so that people can relate with you better and do business with you better. God bless you.